Hello everyone, welcome to the last part of Wallace and Gromit in Project Zoo, and you should all remember this because I showed the very beginning of this bonus level and then didn't do it. So now I'm doing it, and we only have 2 bonus levels left to do. One of them I've already done, but we have some more medals to pick up. And then other than that, it's just kind of going through and picking up some incidental stuff that's sort of easy to pick up, you know, on your way back through the levels, because you have to, like, do everything again, which I have to say I don't really love that way of doing things. I understand why they made it so you have to play through the levels, like, for the first time, because, like, a lot of the levels concern, you know, like, opening up certain things and changing the landscape a little bit as you go on, but I don't know, I just feel like there could be another way of doing it, and just whether or not it, you know, works for this game in particular, it just is, not super conducive to a quick and dirty sort of return to all the levels. And yes, I'm showing all of my failed attempts at this level because, I mean, this video is already not very long compared to the other ones. Not really much left to do here. In case people are wondering, I do plan on, you know, maybe going back on stream in this game and getting all the other stuff that I need to get, mostly just medals and things. And that'll be good because, for one thing, Custard is usually there when I stream, and he might be able to help me out with that, with just knowing what I'm supposed to be doing. And also, I don't know, then I won't have to, like, edit it, and you know, it would have been nice to make this a 100% LP where I do everything that you need to do to get 100% completion just in the recordings, but I don't want to prolong this LP any more than I already have. I've been taking a lot of time doing this shit the last several weeks because days at work have just been really long lately, and it's hard to balance things that I just want to do, things that I want to do for other videos that involve more than just, like, writing and making the video itself, you know, like watching stuff for a video that I want to make. That sort of thing. Balancing that with, you know, the limited time I have after work a lot of days to, you know, clean, do house things, hang out with Liv, be by myself, eat food, etc. It can just be tough to stay on top of things and keep my schedule going the way I want, which I don't think anyone is too bothered by it. I think anyone who has been watching my videos for any extended period of time is probably used to me uploading kind of sporadically sometimes. But I do like to try to keep this channel a little bit more consistent. And I mean, it's a completely self-imposed thing, but it's just kind of... when I came up with the, you know, like, primary LP being Monday, Wednesday, Friday, secondary LP or other videos being Tuesday, Thursday, it actually hasn't been that many times since I started this channel that I have been reliably doing that. And I'm not, like, gonna beat myself up about it, but I kind of wish that I could. But, I mean, that is, like, 5 20 to 30 minute videos a week, and, you know, a lot of the time I'm recording the gameplay and the commentary separately, and, you know, these are edited, and especially like these where it's a lot of backtracking and having to do the whole level over again. I mean, this video is only 15 minutes, but it came from like a little over an hour of gameplay, just looking around for shit. So, yeah, I don't know. I maybe need to rethink the schedule thing. I tried to balance it between being like I could actually get a game done in a reasonable amount of time and not be stuck on one game for 5 months, but also like be relatively doable. But I don't know, and I don't know what I'm going to do for my next LP because I have not gotten far at all in any of the games that I was going to try out, and I am insisting on getting a good way into games before I start them. Mostly, at this point, honestly, it's not even because of the sucking thing, because, for one thing, I suck at the game anyway. This applies for any game. Whether or not I've played through the first, like, half of it before recording, it's not like I'm gonna magically be better. I mean, I'll kind of know what I'm getting into, but, like, I'm not worried about looking like I suck at games. I wouldn't upload and stream so much footage of me playing video games the way I do if I really was that bothered by it. The main thing is just making sure the game works, because I've had so many just fucking dumbass unforeseen problems with games where you get to a certain point and something is wrong, you know, usually with like emulating and PC stuff, and I can't even imagine what fresh hell that no one has encountered before I'm going to encounter when I eventually get a capture card and start trying to do that. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be starting the next LP after this week. I wanted to, but tomorrow's already Monday, and that's when I would start it, and I don't really know if I'm in a position to start it yet, but who knows? If it's snowing right now, and if it keeps snowing, maybe I'll get off of work. I'm really not banking on it, because my work doesn't take letting us have a day off for anything. Including the last time it snowed, which was pretty bad and pretty icy, but and we had to spend like 15 minutes pushing Liv's car out of the snow to get out, but yeah, I still had to go. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll have time to do it, maybe I won't. We'll see what happens. But maybe I'll start it partway through the week, or wait till next week. If I wait till next week to start it, then I have at least like 1 or 2 games that could be good Let's Tries that I could do this week in the meantime. And I have other games that, like, I've been having, there's like stuff I gotta figure out, like, for some reason Project 64 is being weird about my USB controller, so if I can figure those things out, there are games that I could do at least one video on in the meantime before I start. I have one game in mind for the next LP, but I don't know if it's gonna end up being the one that I do. We'll see. And if I really can't decide, and it's down to a couple of games that I would be pretty much equally willing to do, then I might upload a video that has a poll for people to interact with. I love how you can be pointing straight at it and it doesn't matter, you have to actually aim it. But yeah, there's the porthole things. I seem to remember trying to do that earlier and it not working, so I don't know what that's about. Anyway, yeah, I never got these snowmen. I got all of the blue scarved snowmen, but I didn't get all of the red scarved ones, so this is me doing that. And, you know, just generally getting other shit that I missed. And doing this whole warming up the area thing. But yeah, been in a weird sort of limbo state. I was gonna say just in the past month in particular. I probably could have just dropped down and get that medallion that's right there. I only just noticed that. I didn't notice it while I was playing. It sucks. Well, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's really been the case. Wow, I really could have just gotten that, and I didn't. God damn it. Well, when I do the stream, I'll try to remember to get that one. But yeah, I was kind of focusing on getting this one on the poip. Which I don't remember how I made this spawn, but I did, and then I forgot to include the part where I did that. This was after like 30 minutes of doing all of the stuff in this level again, and like hopping around and fucking looking for the things. Looking for the blue scarf snowmen, only to find out that I had already gotten all 10 of them, so it was all for naught. But that's how the cookie crumbles. And yeah, now we have this cool remote, so we can press this button and get the medallion, except I don't get it the first time around because I'm excellent at the game. But I'm keeping this one relatively failures intact in this one because like I said, it's a short video, it's the last video of the LP, so figured it would just be chill time. But yeah, especially with everything happening lately and kind of boringness and cringeness of a lot of online discourse, especially post the Biden inauguration, which, you know, just very boring as always kind of stuff, and really weird and like incongruous watching the like network news coverage of it, like playing up the spectacle of it and fawning over Biden and everything. And meanwhile, I thought it looked really dour. I thought the whole affair was pretty somber. It almost looked like a funeral at certain points. And now, like, Q people and, like, the Proud Boys are all in the wilderness with regard to Trump. Like, a big chunk of them, like, hate him or think he's, like, a traitor or a failure or whatever. Which he is. I mean, that is entirely correct. But I feel like a lot of them will still just kind of toe the line or whatever. But I am interested to see how that goes in the future. We were talking about that on stream a while back. About where that whole... because the GOP sort of subsumed the Trump fandom into its base. But now it has to kind of exist post him. So I'm interested in seeing that, and it'll be interesting to look back on. It's certainly interesting times to live in, not necessarily a good thing. In fact, it kind of sucks. But you could say that about pretty much any time period, I suppose. And yeah, these are just time trials for this slide. Pretty simple, not much to say about it. We've seen the slide before, so bada bing, bada boom. I don't know what the, like, cool strat is for this. It's probably not like falling down and missing every jump like I'm doing, but that's my strategy and it worked. And I just barely made it before the clock went out. Also, speaking of like living in interesting times and like stuff that's happening right now, in the last few weeks, I know I'm like right at the end of the video here, but something I've been thinking about a lot is people very frequently say stuff like, oh man, the people writing the history textbooks in the future, writing about 2020 or 2021, they're gonna be really in for it, or the history textbooks are gonna seem crazy to kids in the future. And I don't know, I think that's kind of naive and like kind of dumb, because for one thing, like, I feel like in America it's pretty common opinion, commonly recognized that, like, history textbooks don't actually get into the whole of what was going on, or all the details of what was going on. But, I don't know. It's just something I think about. This was the perfectly appropriate time to bring it up, is right at the end of a Let's Play. Anyway, that was Let's Play Wallace and Gromit Project Zoo. I enjoyed this game, even though I've had some complaints about it. I won't reiterate them here. I've talked about them enough. I think I've said basically everything I could say about this game in this LP. Gonna do more of it in stream. Stay tuned for the next LP and other stuff I do. See you then, folks.